안녕하세요. 매일매일 운동하기를 실천하고 있는 동탄 왕코입니다. 지금은 저녁 8시가 조금 넘었어요. 배고파서 치킨을 시켰습니다. 치킨 제가 지금 7시 8시 다 돼서 시켰는데 90분 걸려요. 90분 BBQ 엄청 오래 걸리죠. 그래서 지금 세탁기 돌려놓고 운동하기 직전에 친구한테 전화가 와서 친구랑 전화통화 좀 하고, 원래 이번 주에 친구랑 놀기로 했어요. 오늘 대학로에서 친구랑 같이 만나서 술을 먹기로 했었죠. 이게 4주 전? 3주 전에 한 약속이었어요. 아니구나, 한 달 전에 한 약속이에요. 한 달 전에. 기억이 잘 안 나네, 솔직히 사실. 근데 사회적 거리두기 2.5단계를 실행하면서 약속이 취소가 됐죠. 그래서 다음 주에나 아니면 친구들이 놀러 오기로 했었는데, 사회적 거리두기가 1주 더 연장됐죠. 2.5단계가. 그래서 많은 약속이 다 취소가 됐습니다. 지금 계속 집에만 있어야 되고, 내일도 쉬는데 내일도 집에만 있을 거고요. 역시 집에 있을 때 홈트죠, 홈트. 여러분 다 같이 운동해요. 일단은 원래 오늘 쉬는 날이어서 좀 많이 하려고 그랬는데 잠을 잘 못 잤습니다. 지금 머리가 두통이 살짝 있는 상태예요. 그래서 팔굽혀펴기랑 일단 30분 할게요. 최대한 치킨이 올 때까지.
As a lawyer, Mr. Chardy, will that make it more complicated to prosecute any of the officers?
Well, you look at the video, I think it speaks for itself. You're seeing a man on the ground begging for help. You're seeing a bag over his head. I don't care what you want to call it. He's being suffocated in that bag. He's having his head pushed down to the ground. This is a brutal video. This is a brutal act. And, as a former prosecutor, as a defense attorney, I see a vicious act that I hope the New York State Attorney General will move and act on this. I know the city has already done so. Again, I applaud the mayor for her actions. The 7 officers already being suspended. But I hope that the state starts taking this serious. It's been 5 months now, and it's time to take this matter a little bit more serious than they had.
Janera, what do you want to see happen? What does your family want?
I want justice for my father. I just want to make sure that the officers that did this go to jail or something. This was traumatizing. I have to live with this for the rest of my life. Like, I barely could sleep because of this. Like, it's horrible. Like, I just don't know.
We understand. I mean, again, it's horrible for all of us who are strangers to your family to watch this. And the idea that your family is having to emotionally process what you didn't know had happened to your dad. I think we all understand that. We'll be following the case very closely. Janera Prude, thank you. Frank Chardy, please keep us posted as to what happens legally next with this case.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, voters in battleground states are getting misinformation in the mail about Joe Biden.
여러분,
CNN has just uncovered a possible tie to another candidate's campaign. We have the details next.
It is good to be back on the road. On the next CNN Business Traveller, expert advice for today's business trip.
The biggest risk is large congregations of people.
Keeping us safe every step of the way.
Yeah, it's sucked through every 3 minutes.
And a destination decision.
Nobody's wearing masks. I'm feeling peer pressure.
We're travelling safely on the next CNN Business Traveller.
Driven by ambition,
Joe Biden was always the lead dog.
battered by tragedy.
Is it true you keep Bo's rosary with you?
Keep it all the time because it is still emotional.
Are you okay?
I am.
Fighting his past.
I have a apologize to Nina Hill. I wish I could have protected her more.
And in the race of his life,
Do you see yourself as the polar opposite of Donald Trump?
I hope so.
Joe Biden's long journey, a CNN special report, Tuesday on CNN.
Have you been bitten by the bug of curiosity? This is CNN 10. My name is Carl Azus. I'll be your explainer-in-chief. Global news. International relations are the key factors. Relevant stories. Everyday people whose action is changing their community. Complex issues explained. We're going back to the future. And 10-second trivia. You 10 out of 10.
너무 하기 싫어.
In 10 minutes. Stream at youtube.com/CNN10. All new African Voices Changemakers.
치킨이 올 때까지 어쨌든 하겠습니다.
Create opportunities. Impact communities. Transform lives. It's an homage to heritage as musicians mine their roots to influence their sound.
I think a lot of people don't understand how diverse is the African musical landscape. It's not in a box.
African Voices Changemakers, only on CNN.
I'm Bianca Novello outside London, and this is CNN.
تحياتنا للأصدقاء في النجوم. يا ليت يجمعنا الزمان.
If we could introduce ourselves to an alien life form, what would we say?
Hello from the children of planet Earth. Здравствуйте, приветствую вас.
What you're doing is something very important. You are trying to make contact with another civilization.
Both voyages carry a copper phonograph record. A message. Celebrating the sights and sounds of Earth.
I was looking for images for 100 different topics. Agriculture, families, science, medicine. Sports was only one, but if you were to choose one sporting event that was global and perhaps most representative of humanity, it would be the Olympics. And if you were to choose one athletic that was basic to all sports, probably running.
And what if the athletes chosen to represent humanity were never told, and they didn't learn the truth until decades later? This will outlive our planet. I just wonder how you feel about that.
Wow. It's just not something that you can wrap your mind about, but your heart can and your imagination can.
힘들어. 씨.
Listen to this next story because it gets the things you have to look out for in this next election. An Ohio-based dark money group is sending misinformation about Joe Biden to voters in 2 states through unsolicited mail-in ballot applications. And in an even stranger twist, the group has connections to the effort to get Kanye West on the ballot. Connect the dots here, folks. CNN's Kristen Holmes live in Washington with more. Do we know what and who is behind this dark money group?
Good morning, Jim. Well, we don't right now. And of course, this story seems to have a little bit of everything. We have money, lies, and Kanye West. Now, here's what we do know. The group is called Common Sense Voters, and they're sending out these legitimate mail-in ballot applications. They are actual applications in at least 2 critical swing states, Pennsylvania and Minnesota. And we've actually obtained a copy. And I want to pull it up here so you can see exactly what it looks like. This went out in Pennsylvania, and you can see it really presents itself as a non-partisan voting guide. But when you open it up here, you see Joe Biden holding up what looks to be a print copy of Politico with a line that falsely reads, Biden supports sanctuary cities. And then next to it asks, are these your Pennsylvania values?
치킨
You
왔어요.
should note that in a statement to CNN, Politico said that there will be no print edition
20개만 하고
paper that day. They also
엘리베이터 올라오는 시간이
published
있으니까.
that headline on any of its platforms. However, they did have a story online that talked about Biden veering left on sanctuary cities. Now, the mailer goes on to compare the two tickets between Biden-Harris and Pence-Trump, Trump-Pence, and it falsely states that Biden-Harris supports open borders and paying reparations, and of course it says that Trump-Pence ticket.
치킨 먹으러 가겠습니다.
This is where it gets
치킨 왔어요,
even more
치킨.
interesting and really even more muddy. This group was registered back in June.